Good morning, 7th graders. Today we are going to start with our next unit, section 5.2, with ratios, talking about unit rates and proportional reasoning. This is section 5.2 in your books. Today's magic color is black. Anything written in black, and these notes should be going into your notebook. So, the first vocabulary we have is unit rate. Rate is a ratio that compares two quantities measured in different units. Last unit in section 5.1 we talked about what a ratio was. This unit we are talking about what a rate is, a ratio that compares two quantities measured in different units. For example, when you're driving a car, you want to know how many miles per hour you are going. These are our different rates, two different units, miles per hour, okay? A unit rate is the rate for one unit of a given quality. That would be, for example, per pound. How much is something per pound? Or per hour, etc. Single hour. Okay. With this section, it is very important to be organized and label everything in your work and in your notes. Make sure you keep that organized and labeled so that you can understand what you are putting in your notes and on your work. Okay, if you'd like to take a second and pause the video to take down these notes, that would be great. Okay, so let's start practicing. The first question we have is, find the unit rate. Find the unit rate earned $33 for 4 hours of work. Okay, so our units are dollars and hours. So we're going to set that up with the dollars over the hour. We like to put money on top. So in this sample, we earned $33 in 4 hours. To figure this out, our unit rate we're looking for is per hour. How much money, if we made $33 in 4 hours, how much money did we make in 1 hour? Or how should we get paid per hour? So if you look at this, we have this bar here. That fraction bar also means division bar. So we're simply going to take $33 divided by 4 hours. And in doing so, we end up with per hour $8.25 per hour. That would be our unit rate. Okay. These kinds of unit rate examples with ratios are things that you guys will be using more often in everyday life than a lot of things that we do learn in math. So it's very important that you understand these questions and this process, because this is a lifelong thing you will work with. Okay? All right, so now the next problem that we're going to work with, it says use the unit cost to find the total cost. 7 yards of ribbon, we have a typo here, of ribbon at $39 yard. So we want to find our total cost. Okay, 39 cents per yard at 7 yards. To find this one, we're going to take our total units, 7 yards, and we're going to take it times our cost per yard, which is 39 cents. Okay, so if I multiply 7 times 0.39, I come up with the answer, $2.73 for my total cost on a ribbon. Okay, so the difference between the unit cost or unit rate and the total cost. Alrighty. The question is, for us at this point, is when we're reading a problem, are they asking us to find the unit rate, or are they asking us to find the total cost? And which process to use when they're looking for those? If you need to take a second to write these down so you understand it better, that would be great. Okay. The last problem we have here, the last problem we have, find each unit cost. Here again we're dealing with unit cost. Then determine the better buy. This is something that I'm sure your parents do when they go to the grocery store, anytime you're shopping. What one is the better deal? Okay, so for example, this one, the first one says 3 pounds of potatoes for 89 cents. The second example has 5 pounds of potatoes for $1.59. Which one would save us more money? So to find that comparison, we're going to work each problem out. So for the first one, 3 pounds of potatoes for 89 cents. We're going to set that up like we did our unit rate up here, okay? We're going to set our dollar amount over our hour, or not hour, at this rate is going to be pounds. So for the first one, we had 89 cents for 3 pounds. Alrighty. As I'm working that out, again, this is a division bar. 0.89 divided by 3 equals 0.2966. Well, we're dealing with money here, so we want to round, which is going to make this approximately 30 cents per pound. Okay. Now let's look at the second problem. The second problem, we have $1.59 for 5 pounds. And again, looking at this fraction bar is a division bar. $1.59 divided by 5 gives us 0.318. And to round it, because again, we're using money, it's going to be about 32 cents per pound. Okay, so which package purchase is our better buy? Is 3 pounds for 89 cents, which is 30 cents a pound? Or is 5 pounds for $1.59, which is 32 cents a pound, the better buy? So to answer that question, the better buy would be the lower cost. So the answer would be 3 pounds for 89 cents. Okay? Questions on that? Please make sure you ask. Okay. sure you ask if you have any questions. That's what Mrs. Z and Mrs. Olson and I are here for. All right, some things to remember. Put the money on the top. The fraction bar tells you to divide. And then please make sure you're asking questions. After you've watched this tutorial, if you still have questions, you can also watch the video created by Mrs. Eastmer or by Mrs. Olson, and feel free to ask any questions. You may now move on to the next section of your